Emptiness is fullness, and fullness is everything. A contemplative and exploratory read. This was written to be a contemplative read, and if you're listening to this as a voiceover, remember to do so preferably when you're not doing anything active. It will be most effective if you use this experientially and exploratively. The attempt of this exploration is to point you, the reader or the listener in this case, to the experience of emptiness, where paradoxically a sense of fullness emerges. Emptiness, what is that? It truly doesn't make any logical sense in a semantic sense. But perhaps for this exploration, we can go beyond the words to the experience of. In the recordings of Jesus' sayings, what I find is often misunderstood, at least in my experience reading the text in community, is an understanding of that desire to decrease so that God, the all that is, increases. As it was written by, and quoted of Jesus, he must increase, but I must decrease. That's found in John chapter 3, verse 20, or verse 30 actually. When the I diminishes in surrender, and this should not be taken for shame, when that I diminishes in surrender, what remains is a fullness. What remains is the vast and silent reality, which we can then call Christ in the mystical sense. So it's the emptiness, not the fullness of everything. The paradox is only one to the mind. Look, for instance, an empty room is full of space. Or you could also say that a full room is made up of space. Is there any boundary to the space? Is space ever trapped or limited? Is space not empty? And is space not also full? We'll explore this experientially in a bit. From the text in the same passage of John, it says, "The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear the sound of it, but cannot tell where it comes from and where it goes. So is everyone who's born of the Spirit." That, I think, was from John chapter 3, verse 8. So was Jesus tripping when he said this in the records of his saying? So let's explore emptiness and the emptying of one's self. Ready? To be empty, to empty yourself presupposes that there's something inside to be emptied. Should you even ask, why empty yourself? Or why empty myself? Is there anything inside myself? Well, isn't there a sense that you're made up of something, that you hold matter, that you hold stuff? If this feels true, then watch what happens when there's a sense of emptying oneself to experience a sense of freedom, a floating, a limitlessness, and inability to be tethered. We could also argue endlessly about the contradiction of emptying the self. But none of that matters once you actually sit with a direct sense of emptiness. We would explore this imaginatively and then introspectively look at the effects of this type of looking. Just for a moment, imagine that you are utterly empty. Not conceptually empty, experientially empty. You're devoid of form, devoid of matter, devoid of substance, no inner state. You do not know of a body or owning a body. Just a sense of witnessing sensations. You witness breathing and it's happening effortlessly. You witness maybe a slight discomfort in your back or your feet, an itch, whatever it is that is in the realm of sensations. Now notice how the sensations, your breathing, the life flow in the body have been doing so until you paid closer attention to it. Now you don't need to manipulate it in your experience. Just pay close attention. Let it be exactly as it is. Now you may witness the sounds around you. And if you're listening to this, you may be aware of my own voice. Notice that they are witnessed. The sounds are witnessed. You do not store any of the sounds. They don't stay in you. You just know of sounds. You witness it. Yes, you witness thoughts. You have never ever seen them. Neither have you found their location. You just know of them. Thoughts appear, they're witnessed. Then they disappear, and then they appear again. You may begin to realize that thoughts don't live inside you, just like the radio station doesn't live in the radio. If your belly is full, like mine is at this time, you may notice the weight of tension as it pulls down on you in the belly region. Without going too analytic, you would agree with me that the only thing you experience are sensations. No weight pulling down on you, just a sensation that you then call weight of the body pulling down on me. If you can observe what you observe, could they truly be who you are? Now, notice your opinions, your beliefs, any one of them. They persist, yes, but look again. You stand apart from them. You are not your beliefs any more than they are the weather outside your window. They pass through the space of you, and you are the noticing. You are the noticing. And whatever is noticed is not essentially you, not essential to you. It is unsustained by you. I'll repeat again and add, whatever you notice is not essentially you. It is noticed apart from you. Now let's look deeper. What do you call my life? Is it not a sequence of aggregated thoughts, bylines and storylines that are assembled from memories, images, and projections? If you tried as hard as you could to find this my life in any one place, in your body, in your mind, in your past, where could it be? Can you point to it? Seriously, can you point to it? Where exactly is my life? Now, what happens if we surrendered even that notion? Not yet. If we emptied ourselves of my life, what would remain? Would it not just be an happening or an unfurling of life doing its unfurling so effortlessly as each moment becomes another moment, without your commissioning, without your permission, without your approval, just happening. As was recorded in the Christian Gospels, Jesus said, "He who finds his life will lose it, and he who loses his life will find it." Is this not a releasing to let go of the constructed self, the narrative of possession and control of my life? Notice how the very thing we cling to is what hides the eternal life that's already present. Now, look around you. That cup beside you, the chair, the sound of a dog barking down the street. All of them exist precisely because there's a space to hold them. And space allows them. It does not cling to them and is not defined by them. The same is true of your body. It moves through space. It blends with its surroundings. But you are not the body. If so, where are you? If you are the body, where are you within it? And if you are not the body, where are you? Empty. And now, bring your attention and your awareness to your chest. Feel your heartbeat. Now, not conceptually, actually feel it now. Notice that it beats without your effort, without your permission. It is happening in the same way that the stars move and the sun rises and sets. What part of that is you? Where was the effort ever yours? This is surrender. It's a seeing clearly that there was never anything to hold on to in the first place. In seeing this, we also see that there is not a solidity to the self. The self, the immortal diamond, as Richard Rohr would put it, is devoid of substance. It is empty. And that emptiness is not really non-existence. One would have to be present to even say they are non-existent. It is instead a spaciousness. It's the room that holds all things while being none of the things. Now, bring your awareness one last time to the sense of you. You in the purest, most intimate, most obvious self. You cannot deny that you are. If you examined really carefully, you would find that you are complete, lacking nothing. And ultimately, that you is beyond even the qualifications of emptiness and fullness.